Nuggets is our college hoops guy on the men's side. I know you studied the bracket. What are the biggest? To me, the biggest takeaway was North Carolina misses the field, and I also looked at some of the other traditional blue bloods. Duke and Kentucky are like 5 and 6 seeds. It's this NIL thing. I don't know long term what impact it's going to have on basketball, but to me, the fact that you've got North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, all not like in the top 4 seeds. Michigan State's a 7. What's your takeaway from this year's bracket?
I don't really think it has anything to do with NIL. It's just college basketball as a whole is down.
It's hard
a lot
to
of
predict.
the guys, one and done, they go. You have like Duke starts 4 freshmen and a junior.
Yeah.
And those freshmen come in. Duke's actually won 9 in a row. They're one of the teams I'm very high on.
Really?
As a team that can make a run in the tournament here as a 5 seed. But overall, I mean, look at North Carolina. They went on a run as an 8 seed last year.
Right.
They got hot at the right time. Everyone comes back to do it again. Were they really as good as the number 1 seed, or were they an 8 seed that got hot at the right time last year? That's the beauty of March Madness.
Right,
So I broke this down before we give our picks into 3 categories of stuff that I want to discuss between us.
Right.
And then we're going to make our final 4 picks. I came into teams that I think are overrated. I think teams that can be Cinderella teams, and then I got some potential first-round upsets to mark on your bracket. So we're going to start with the overrated teams here in the regions. And we're going to start with Purdue. Now, they deserve the 1 seed. They're not overrated in terms of seeding, but this is a team I do not think has the makings to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament for 2 reasons. 1, point guard play wins in March Madness. Purdue starts 2 freshmen in the backcourt who struggled late to close out Penn State in the Big Ten tournament. Eddie, their big man, is unreal, but he's prone to getting in foul trouble. And most importantly, the Big Ten beat up on each other. I'm not quite sure if any Big Ten is elite, Big Ten team is elite, or if that whole conference is pretty run-of-the-mill. Purdue is the best of the middle teams. St. Mary's is a 5 seed. Best defense in America, number 5 in points per game against, but they play super slow. They take a ton of threes. 3-point shooting teams in the tournament are always shaky to pick on to go make a deep run. They also got absolutely smoked by Gonzaga. Xavier, once again, a high-scoring team that relies 40% of their shots come from beyond the arc.
Wow.
That scares me as a team in the tournament. You have one off shooting night.
You can live by that, but you can also
die by the 3. So that's a team I don't feel good about. And you just mentioned Kentucky. When they're good, they can beat anybody. When they're bad, they will literally lose to anybody. And they don't have a true point guard. They give 0 production off the bench. If one of their 5 starters isn't on, you're essentially playing 4 on 5 because they only play 5 guys.
Yeah.
That's a
and if you don't have a point guard in the tournament, you're not making a run.
Yeah. McNuggets, this is what irks me about college basketball a little bit, is I believe the coaching in college basketball makes good players worse. Because just the style of play that they play is not, that doesn't translate 1 iota to the league, right? You watch these teams and they pass the ball around the perimeter 12 times and take a shot within 5 or 6 seconds of the shot clock. I don't see no pick and rolls. I don't see the same type action.
Well,
it's just the game itself. People are like, well, why would you be a freshman? If you're a freshman All-American, you stay there 1 year and get the hell out of Dodge. Because by the time you get to be a junior and you still playing there, you're going to get in the league looking like a robot. They're like, you can't play this, son.
Well, you're assuming everybody at that level can coach. They can't. They just can't, right?
A lot of coaches. A lot of good ones, a lot of bad ones.
They can't. I'm just telling you. I went to, I had to broadcast a Cleveland Charge game Saturday, right? And I would just tell you that the level of talent there was greatly more than I anticipated, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Compared to the college game right now.
Yes.
Better?
They had talented, these were talented people.
Sure.
Right? You probably didn't get to see them because 1 year they were out of there, right?
Right.
So the NCAA and the NBA have collaborated in a way to undermine both of themselves, right?
Yeah.
But you see, that's the difference between the women's and the guys. You get to follow the women for a number of years. You get to watch them build up.
Sure.
These guys leave after a year. You don't know what they are, right?
Yeah.
You have no affinity toward Kentucky or Ohio State because you're moving.
That's
but
why the style of play is so hard to watch.
But I will tell you that some people are definitely not being developed in this 1 year scenario. They're just trying to get through the year, right? Mm-hmm. So there's no development going on here, right? And then the product in the end is diminished. To Mike's point, I don't think Purdue can run the table. Purdue has shown its weakness all year. Zach Edey probably going to be one of the top 2 or 3 people drafted in this draft, but the Boilers have really no go-to in-between guy that can just get it done for you.
Rutgers beat Purdue.
Right, so I'm not sold on them. St. Mary's, get out of here. You get bounced early, right? Xavier, you get bounced early,
you
right?
Think Xavier's
now,
got no
Kentucky,
chance?
now you can say what you want to say about Calipari.
He can coach.
He keeps the people,
Yeah.
and you don't know what you're going to get out of him. So he would be one of my, if I'm saying, okay, of all those 4.
So you agree with 3 of the 4?
I said, Kentucky, I got to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
right?
but so what would you consider like a dark horse team? Anything lower than a 4 is what I
We're
consider.
going to get to the next one.
Well, I went back to
categories.
Bulls theory. I looked at it again. There is a 13-4 seed that I would watch, right? This Iona versus UConn.
Yep.
Yale's.
UConn.
Ricky P.
Right before he leaves for St. John's.
Well, or Georgetown, because now Georgetown is open too, and he's already been linked to that.
Look, Ricky P said over the weekend, I ain't going nowhere that I don't want to live. I'm going to tell you now. And here, he said this other thing, basically in an undermined way, I'm not going to do what I do at Louisville. I'm going where somebody wants me, right? I'm not leaving here. And if I don't have the utmost support,
I mean, in
I'm
St.
not
John
going.
and Georgetown, you've got 2 very livable cities.
Very.
Between New York and Washington. I mean,
Yeah.
they're media hubs. If
Yeah.
you ever wanted to even springboard that into an even bigger job, that would be a good place to do it, either one of those. Okay, you want to go to your Cinderella?
We got our Cinderella teams next. That's anything over a 4 seed.
Okay, that's what I
That's
always
going to make
consider
it,
too.
I think, as a chance to make a deep run. We're going to start with Memphis
I
as
don't
an
think
8
a
seed.
5 seed should be a Cinderella.
I
don't
picked
buy
1
it.
5,
right.
8, and 2 7. So hopefully that's enough
Okay.
for you guys here. Memphis, though, is in the same region as Purdue. I think they end up beating Purdue for 2 reasons. One, a dude named Kendrick Davis.
Yeah.
22 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, the AAC player of the game at 31 points in the title game over Houston. He's a certified star. And when you play a team like Purdue, you need a big man to match up with Edey. Well, they have DeAndre Williams, who's 6'10", averages 18 and 12 a game.
Right.
He's not 7'4" like Edey, but he ain't a scrub either, and you need someone to help negate them. I really like Memphis. Duke, okay, you want to say they're maybe not a Cinderella? I'll give you that, but they have won 9 in a row.
Yeah, I've never heard Duke and Cinderella in
they
the same
can't be-
sentence ever.
But
I know we just said anybody
Yeah.
lower than
I
a
just
4.
think a 4-5 game is a toss-up. So if a 4 is not a Cinderella, a 5 should
And
be.
Fine.
besides, how many McDonald's All-Americans do
Yeah,
they
I mean,
still
it's
have
Duke.
on that
I-
roster?
that's-
They have 5 on the roster. I'm just
Okay,
saying,
so I don't know how in the hell they can be considered a Cinderella, but you're right.
as a seed, they are a 5 seed. I
Gotcha.
put them in the Cinderella
They've got to
category.
be a 4 and a 3,
4-1.
4 to 1 to get to the
Elite
get to
Eight.
the Elite Eight. That's
Yeah.
a tough road.
It's a tough road. Since they moved Caden Proctor to the 1 and they put Roach at the 2, Proctor's 6'5", Roach is only 5'11", but they swapped their 2 roles. They've won 10 of 11. They've scored over 80 points 5 times in that
Wow.
stretch and held teams under 63 times, so they can do it on both
Do you
ends.
think Coach K made that move?
No, I really like Shire. I think he's going to be a good coach.
Yeah, but you don't think Coach K might have picked up the phone and said
Shadow commissioner?
Yes.
Yeah, he might be.
I-
He's definitely getting some
that
advice.
reeks
He'd
of something
be-
Coach K would have done?
You'd be so if you weren't. Missouri and A&M, 2 7 seeds. I'll start with Missouri before I get to A&M, who I think is the most underseeded team in the tournament. But
Yeah,
Missouri,
A&M got screwed.
battle tested.
The
The
guy
thing about
got hurt.
Missouri, they are all between 6'4" and 6'9", their
Yeah.
whole lineup, which creates matchup problems.
Right.
And they're battle tested in the SEC. And more importantly, they shoot 81% from the free throw line as a team. In March, make your free throws.
Yeah, no, that's huge.
That makes a difference in close games. Missouri
81%
battle tested,
as a team.
makes their
That's
free throws.
crazy.
And then A&M, the most underseeded team.
What happened to them?
So 2 things. They played nobody non-conference.
Right.
The worst
But
non-conference schedule
still,
in the
if you
country.
get through the SEC the way
And
they
Jay,
did,
last year, if you remember, they were the first team out.
you're not. Yeah,
And Buzz made some comments
yeah, but you know
that
what?
people have been reporting that the NCAA tournament committee was holding on to. It's ludicrous they're a 7 seed.
That's
You want
like
to hear
the
the net
bad umpire
rankings?
call we're going to show
Yes.
in just a little bit.
You want to hear the net rankings of the 4 7 seeds?
Yes, because Northwestern got screwed too. I thought.
A&M's net ranking 19. The
Okay.
other 4 7 seeds,
Yes.
33, 39, 43.
Where was Northwestern?
Either 33, 39,
I think
or
they had to be
43.
33. I mean, weren't they the runner-up in the Big Ten?
No, Penn State was.
No.
In the tournament.
No, regular season.
No.
Oh, I'm not 100% on. I can tell you
Yeah, I
right
think
now. I
they
have it
finished
open
second.
here.
I think they finished second in the
thought they
Big
finished
Ten. I think A&M
They were
finished
second in the Big Ten.
And I'm sorry, just to get if you're a second, and
A&M was
Yeah,
second
well,
in the
what's
SEC
working
too.
again?
I know.
But
So
what-
you've got
but-
the second team in the second
But-
place team in the SEC and the second place team in the Big Ten,
Right.
2 of the best conferences in the game. Both got
But
7
what's
seeds.
working against Northwestern is the legend and aura of Northwestern.
Well,
Yeah,
and
but
here's
it
the
didn't
one.
help North Carolina get in.
That's what's working against
It didn't
Northwestern.
help North Carolina get in.
Well,
Here's
they
the one
did
thing
it
with-
to themselves.
G-Bush,
They
real quick,
committed
here's the
Harry
one thing
Carey
with
on
A&M.
themselves.
Still Northwestern.
The one thing with A&M that makes them super appealing as a Cinderella candidate, they rebound great. They're the #1 free throw shooting team in the country as far as attempts per game.
Who you on,
Oh,
Texas
attempts.
A&M?
Yeah, they shoot 77%. They average 21 attempts per game. That's
Who's it,
number
Texas
one in the
A&M?
nation. Very efficient.
Yeah.
And they have Wade Taylor, their point guard, finished runner-up for SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah, A&M.
Good point guard, good defense, good rebounding.
That's
They
the
make their free
formula.
throws.
That's the formula.
Of your list,
Yeah.
A&M is the one. The rest of them getting bounced.
Yeah, I like A&M. I picked
Well,
them.
Duke. Let me take that back. Duke is sneaky in the positioning that they have because the way they're seated, they could end up running a little table here, right?
They could.
Yeah, they could.
I'm picking my
It could
team.
be Carolina last year.
I'm picking my teams by colors.
Are you?
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
On your whole bracket?
Yeah, whole bracket.
You get a bracket sheet with just colors.
This is how much I care right here.
So you have totally divorced yourself from the NCAA tournament.
Of course I have.
Wow, why? Because the play's so bad?
I don't know these people. I don't know.
Well,
the
G.
coach-
Bush, you're going to like my
I
upset
don't like
picks
the
then, 'cause if you don't
coaches.
know one of these teams.
feel like the coach.
I don't know anybody. I don't know anyone. I used to know Ray Allen.
Yeah, I used to
and
watch
Kerry
so
Kittle.
much more college
I
basketball.
can't keep up with
Well,
y'all.
go blame the NCAA and the NBA.
Well, now I'm gonna just watch Kent State. Shout out to the match.
Well,
You
G.
know what?
Bush, that leads
When
us right into
when
my
the
first
Big
round
East tournament-
upsets.
All right,
when
there
the
we
Big
go.
East Conference died,
Yeah.
the NCAA tournament died.
No,
There's
no,
a lot of correlation to that.
I think it would.
That was the heyday of
This
the
is not-
NCAA tournament.
Not fair to the players, but I think college basketball would be a lot better if you had two choices. You either go to the NBA straight out of high school, or you got to play 3 years in college.
Yeah,
The baseball rule.
Yeah,
That's exactly what college baseball
I'd be
does.
fine with that.
that's what it would be.
Yeah, I'd be good with that.
I'm fine with that too.
I
All right,
like
we're
this
going
way
to
the
talk first
kids
round
do it.
upsets for you,
This
G.
way,
Bush.
the kids who are studs.
You just saved.
Go.
You just
Shouldn't
saved,
waste time
you
in
saved the
college.
college basketball.
I-
And then for
I-
all the freshmen that develop into superstars, we get to see them for 2 more years.
So look, Jay, I'm seeing those kids that he's talking about that are left in the lurch.
Yeah.
They're in the G League.
Well, here's
watched-
the other problem.
I
Or they'll go
watched
to
it.
Europe.
And then
Right.
no. I'm gonna tell you, when I went to, they had a nice crowd. It's an affordable ticket. It was a nice crowd. You got to see some quality band. I was like, I could come back to this.
Okay, good.
I
Good.
could come back to this.
All right, Mikey.
All right, what else
We
do you
got
have?
first round upsets, then we're going to give our final 4 picks, then we're talking football the rest of the show.
Okay.
I went to both the MAC semifinal games and the MAC championship this weekend. Was blown away by Kent State. This is not just a homer pick.
That's my 13th
pick.
seed right there.
Sincere Carey, number 3, the guy pictured, is a stud.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
An absolute stud. He was the MAC Player of the Year last year. He was runner-up this year to the point guard on Toledo. Ray J. Dennis, elite name, by the way. Ray J, R-A-Y-J was his
Good.
first name.
Yeah.
Kent State shoots threes well. They start 4 seniors. They're veteran-laden. Their coach is phenomenal. This is a rematch of the 2002 Elite 8 game. And here's the thing with Indiana. Although they are much bigger than Kent State, it's not like Kent State's a small mid-major, and they start 2 freshmen in the backcourt. And once again, obviously more talented. I get hesitant. Freshmen versus seniors, when the lights are the brightest, I think that's a potential upset. We got VCU St. Mary's, 12/5. I talked about St. Mary's earlier. They're slow. VCU, despite not having Shaka Smart, still plays that chaotic brand of basketball. It's havoc. In the tournament setting, give me havoc every time, especially in that 12-5 line, because you know
All the underdogs want havoc.
you know one of those is going to hit. I like Providence over Kentucky.
No.
Providence, a veteran-laden team versus Kentucky with freshmen. You can see the common
Brad's
things I
not
look
buying
for.
it.
You
in
like
upset
you like
picks.
upperclassmen, don't you?
I do. And with Kentucky, like I said, they could literally beat anyone in the tournament. They lost to some bad SEC teams and got smoked
They lost
in the
some,
SEC
they lost
this
some
year.
out of conference games, I think.
So
too.
let-
Teams
so-
that
A ton
you
of
look at
confidence. And
like,
last
yeah.
one, Brad,
Get
before you
your
hop
la-
in,
get your last one in here,
Louisiana
so I
over
can kill you.
Tennessee. Tennessee, I thought was going to be one of the teams I had going deep in the tournament. Their point guard, one of their best players, probably their second best players, the Kai Ziegler, tore his ACL in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, that's
He's
good to
out.
death.
He's not playing. He was their best defensive player. He was their point guard.
Yeah.
When you lose that late in the tournament, it's really hard to
Yeah.
adjust and adapt. And Louisiana, a very good team. They have Jordan Brown, their forward, 6'11 junior, averages 19, 9, and 2.
Wow.
Tough to deal with
19,
down
9,
low.
and 2.
Yeah, so give me
Playing
the
at
Cajuns in
Louisiana,
that
though.
one.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
All right, bring your list back up so I could just.
He's gonna pick your list
I
apart.
just want to look
I'm
at
going to
it.
pick your potential upsets
All
here.
right, so first of
Brad,
all, I like Kent, right? I'm glad Kent redeemed itself from the fiasco of last year
Right.
with that Akron video, right? So they played themselves right into that tournament, right? I'm proud of them. Proud of the coach. Coach is a great guy, right? He ain't beating Indiana. It ain't happening, right? It's just not happening. It's not. VCU will take down St. Mary's, though. That's a
Wow.
yeah, VCU will beat VCU got a nice little program. I watched them play Dayton yesterday.
Yeah.
They got a nice little thing going on here. Now, Kentucky, I keep telling you, Calipari,
they lost to St. Francis last year, just a reminder. a
that's all right.
15-2
Don't worry
upset.
about that.
Providence back in
Don't
it.
worry about Stop talking about last year.
The ghost of God, Sham God, is coming back.
Now, that Louisiana, I think Tennessee just going to beat Louisiana just from the SEC. I don't care without the point guard. I don't know how far they're going, but I don't see Louisiana taking down Tennessee. But I will tell you what, that Kent taking down IU.
Why ain't it happening? Why ain't going down?
Because you got Trace Jackson Davis, who's down on the block, right? They got Indiana has a formidable front line.
Very talented.
The backcourt with the Shafino is the point guard, as a freshman, had a pretty good year, right? They're not bad. The thing that Indiana does not have, that Indiana typically has, is outside shooting. It's remarkable to me that they can't shoot the ball.
Well,
I've never seen it
that could be
before.
the death of them in the tournament.
That Trace Jackson Davis on that block, he is a load down there.
And
a load.
And it's tough for MAC schools to match up with someone like that.
And by the way, Indiana still got Calbert Cheney.
He's in year 12 now.
Calbert Cheney's in year 35.
Worst place in place.
You want to do your Final Four?
Game.
I didn't even
Seats
pick
so
up my
tight,
Final
you can't even
Four.
fit in
I
there
didn't
now.
pick up my full bracket yet.
Brad, I think Brad has his, and then we'll give winners, and then we will move on for football.
Okay.
My Final Four, I got Bama, the overall #1 seed. I think their region's pretty easy. Call me a homer, whatever. I don't like Duke, but I'm picking Duke to make the Final Four of that region. I don't trust Purdue. I don't trust Marquette, and I do think Duke's getting hot. Houston, I have as the 1 seed out of the Midwest. I'm taking UCLA, the 2 seed out of the West region. So I have 2 1s, a 5, and a 2.
UCLA,
I like Houston.
they always flank.
They don't look bad, though. They don't look bad.
Here's my thing.
They
with
never
Houston
look
this
bad.
year.
They're always a 2 seed, and they always get bounced.
Who, Houston?
UCLA.
Oh, UCLA. Yeah.
Didn't they win with Tyus Edney back in the day?
Well, yeah, 100 years ago.
I just don't love that. You can talk me into a couple different teams. Kansas is the one. I don't want to pick 3 1s. I think UCLA is the 2
Yeah,
I
because
like
then
the
you're
most.
called Mr. Chalk.
Yeah, but I am picking Houston to win it all. In Houston.
Really?
Final Four's in Houston.
Yeah,
Jim
I
Nance
know.
went to Houston on his Final Four call. So give me the Cougars in nostalgic fashion for Jim Nance over Alabama.
All right.
She's going to take 5
You're
swimmers.
a Houston, and you're just a Texas homer.
Yeah,
By the
he
way,
is.
this from Rob Domofsky, who covers the Packers. We're an hour away from the start of free agent negotiating period. I'm told neither the Packers nor the Jets know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do.
They've been talking about that all
I've
morning.
had so much. I have Aaron Rodgers overload.
Hey, before you say anything, Rogers, make your picks real quick so we can end the clip and we'll talk all football.
All right.
Brad, who you got? Jay, who you got?
I got Bama, Marquette, Houston, and UCLA in the Final Four. And I got Bama winning the whole thing. I ain't sold on Houston at all.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not sold on any of the #1 seeds. I haven't picked out my full bracket yet.
Bama's not bad.
No, Bama's not bad, but I just don't. I don't think they can win the whole thing.
I only worry about the pressure on Bama when this thing get turned up. They're gonna turn the seat up on them.
No, I know. I do
this
like.
stuff.
If I was to pick any of the 1 seeds, I would pick Kansas, just because I trust the coach. Outside of that, the only thing to me that really stood out were the 2 7s that got screwed.
Yeah.
I just, if you finish second in the SEC and the Big Ten, you're worthy of more than a 7.
Yeah, but
you just are.
Yeah, I get you. I give you that. I give you that. I give you
really stood out to me. The other thing, as I mentioned, Kentucky and Duke being a 7 and a 6 seed. 6 for Kentucky. I think Duke is a 7. Yeah. That's a shocker. But I always say this, and I'm going to say it again this year. Never, ever, ever bet against Tom Izzo in the month of March. They're a 7. They're a sneaky 7. I don't think they have the roster or the team that can do it, but I think they have the coach that can galvanize them and get them. I look at their run and who they have to get past. I think they can get past Marquette. I do. I think they can beat Marquette.
Izzo can coach. The problem is Izzo has very limited to work with.
I know he does
very
this year.
limited.
It's not a
this
typical.
This is like I've never seen a team in Michigan
I
State
haven't
look
either.
like.
When I've watched them, I don't recognize them. But you know what? I used to dismiss them all the time based on what I saw in the regular season. And every time I would do it, Izzo's in the Final Four. Izzo makes it.
But
to
he
the
always
Elite
has some players. But now I just don't know.